he obviously fell twice. He fell here last season. He fell at Aintree. He got beaten in Punchestown on the back of 2 falls. To me, he's only been beaten once.
Something makes you think, I wonder, was it a little bit of a fluke? Was Galopin? The Galopin Des Champs never looked comfortable in the Gold Cup last year.
All right, well, I think at these odds, split the difference. This is surely the year that Lossiemouth has a go at this race, isn't it? Hi there, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Inside Track. It was so popular 12 months ago that it is back at your demand. We're going to be making predictions for the 2026 festival live and direct from Cheltenham Racecourse. Not in March, not even in February, not in December or November, but in the middle of October. Yes, these are our way too premature predictions. I'm joined by 2 men who were never ever in danger of getting there too soon, Sir Anthony McCoy and Barry Geraghty, the most successful and I think 3rd or 4th most successful jockeys at this racecourse of all time. So gentlemen, the pressure's on you to find winners of all the championship races several months in advance. We're thinking about the festival. If you are too, you can check out the price boost on the road to Cheltenham every week here at William Hill. So let's start with the champion hurdle. And pleasingly, Barry, you look at the market for the champion hurdle at this time of year, and it's actually 4 to 1 the field. 4 the New Lion, 7 Lossiemouth State Man, 8 Constitution Hill, been nipped in a bit the last couple of days, 12 Margeborough, well, what race is he going to run in? 14 Amsterdam, Ethical Diamond's got a run in the Breeders' Cup Turf yet, William Money, 25's Woodoo and Bigger. So, I mean, I've got to start with Constitution Hill. 8 to 1 a pleasure?
I think so. He obviously fell twice. He fell here last season. He fell at Aintree. He got beaten in Punchestown on the back of 2 falls. To me, he's only been beaten once. I thought he was very good at Christmas. He missed the last here in the Trials Day. So I know it's been a while and he's had how would you say, a checkered run at it if you like, but he hasn't lost that zip at home.
Checkered's doing a lot of heavy lifting there though, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know,
fall and doesn't want to start.
No, but I wouldn't buy into I personally don't think that was a concern. I think that was a reflection of, lads, I'm not feeling it here. You know, a little bit uncomfortable somewhere.
Okay.
You know, on the back, like Aintree was a heavy fall.
So in Nicky we trust, MOT, back in, working well.
Wouldn't be the first time he's done it.
Okay. I see where you're coming from. 8 to 1 could be 3 to 1 in a couple of weeks' time if all goes well in the fighting 5th. AP, how do you play this race? You're involved with JP. He's got the New Lion. He looked the up-and-coming force last season when he won the 2.5 miler here.
I know what I didn't do anyway, Nick. I didn't tip Golden Ace last year. So I didn't.
Did none of us tip Golden Ace?
Pretty sure we didn't.
Did you give her a mention?
No.
Oh.
Spike. You know Spike?
Oh, yeah.
Spike?
Yeah,
Spike down in Abbeyfield.
Yeah.
Betting ring. Shrewd punter. I'm walking across the top here the morning of the champion hurdle. And any bet today, Spike, he said, you know, I had a few quid on Golden Ace.
Can we get Spike in? We get these 2 off, Spike on.
Yeah.
What Spike told you this year?
Spike, it didn't say anything about Golden Ace this year, so
Funny
didn't.
that.
I mean, she did win a champion hurdle, whether it be by luck or fortune, whatever it was, but she did win. I think watching the New Lion, Nick, winning the 2.5 mile novice hurdle last year, he actually got a very, very cool, confident ride from Harry Skelton. He rode him like a very, very good horse. What he did do, touchwood, he actually jumped like a champion hurdler, more so than, well, probably more so than Hardy Eustace did when he won the race. Maybe not so about this, the rack, but I'm not.
He was pretty rapid, wasn't he?
Not putting that down, but he actually was pretty rapid. He jumped like a proper champion hurdler horse, got plenty of pace, and that's not something I think if you're listening to Dan or Harry, they don't ever say that he's a real flash workhorse, you know. So he has a lot of attributes that would make you think that he could definitely be a champion hurdle horse. And then, you know, there is obviously Statement and Constitution Hill and Golden Ace if she rocks up again. But there's a lot of question marks about all of those. And he's probably you know, if you're to pick one you wanted, you think, oh, you'd probably pick him, wouldn't you?
And if he goes to the fighting 5th and does his thing and gives Constitution Hill a beating, then this market's just going to be incredibly dynamic. But at this stage, around about the 8 to 1 mark, Constitution Hill, about half those odds, the New Lion. All right, well, I think at these odds, split the difference. This is surely the year that Lossiemouth has a go at this race, isn't it? Doesn't she have a go at it this time, finally?
I think she'd probably have a go at it, wouldn't she? She's probably entitled to.
She won 3 festival races.
I suppose it depends what Statement does between this and then as well. Like if she goes for the Hatton's Grace again, he goes for the Morgiana, and then they go for Christmas. What happens at Christmas? So there's a little bit of.
Willie likes a banker, no matter how many.
Oh, he
winners-
does, and that's
no
why.
matter how many winners
So if
he has.
if he's strong on Statement still, he has Statement ahead of her. He had him ahead of her last season, and she wins the mare. He likes to win the race. You can win.
Yeah. I just get the feeling she just comes to herself in the spring. And she might, if she's left at the top of the Mullins pecking order by this point, 7-1 could be a big price. So 4-1, 7-1, 8-1. Well, we've all got a different idea of who's going to win the champion hurdle. What about the champion chase? Again, this has got a nicely open look to it. Marine Nationale, the defending champions, 4-1. Sir Gino's the same price. We don't know exactly where he's going to come back, when he's going to come back, but he's going to be back. Margeborough, well, he's got to get his jumping sorted out, 8-1. Il Était Temps sprung back to form at Sandown when beating Jonbon last year. Jonbon still hasn't won at a festival. It's got to happen at some point, but he's 14-1, Jonbon. Khalif de Burle, the same price, and 20's bigger than the rest. I mean, can we get rid of this Jonbon hoodoo?
Do you know what? I'd
14 to
love
1's
to.
ever
I'd
such a
love
big
to. It's a
price.
great price. I think that the one thing will be now, Nick, what happens to Margeborough? You know what I mean? Is he going to be? You know, he obviously was a very unlucky horse not to win the Arkle. Margeborough was very impressive in Punchestown, looks the part. But those two horses from last year, Sir Gino and Margeborough, look exceptional. And albeit that Marine Nationale was a very good winner of the champion chase, those two horses look like potentially like they could be. Look, Nicky Barry knows better than anyone, is brilliant with them 2 mile chasers. I know that he wasn't brilliant enough to get Jonbon to win the champion chase, which I really got it about, but he is brilliant with the 2 mile chasers. And the ground will play a factor come the day, you know, Nick, that, you know, if you got pretty soft ground here at a festival, then you'd be thinking Margeborough all day long. If it was the other way then, and who knows what's going to happen between now and then. So Gino and Margeborough are two very, very exciting 2 mile chasers.
What are the vibes on Sir Gino? Because I just think if he gets back to a racecourse, he'll win every race that he contests.
Yeah, he's shaped up brilliantly. Obviously, he was really good in Kempton for his first and only run over fences. It was a great performance. Ballyburn obviously didn't work for him. But I think, as AP says, like, Nicky does brilliantly with the 2 milers, but I have great respect for Margeborough. I think he's going to be a better horse with a better race. Like, so he went out in the Arkle and he was the one to be on. And probably, I'd say, if he was with more experience he'll have this season and ridden more freely to go and flow and jump, I think he is a proper horse. But I can say the same about Sir Gino. He's only had one run over fence. So Sir Gino, like, he oozes promise, and he took so well to fences. I think the two of those could be different class, and I think the ground could be the difference on that. Sir Gino would have the edge on pace, where Margeborough would probably be a stronger stayer on slower ground.
The one thing about Margeborough, if you look at him as a physical, like, he was a huge, big, lean horse, and you'd imagine he's going to be a better horse a year older. Like, if you were to build a horse, you'd probably build him.
Do you think Jonbon will end up running here? Or do you think this is
Who
the year
knows?
where
Who
this is the
knows?
year he does something different?
Who knows? I say it depends. Nick, we've a long way to go.
Depends what happens to Margeborough.
Depends what happens, you know. I think, look, everything, I'm not making excuses for Jonbon, but everything went wrong from the champion chase last year or so. But you can make excuses. I just think those two horses could be, and they're younger, and they just have the potential to actually make the division great, to make it like a proper, it could be a proper talking point. I know a lot of the races are at the Cheltenham Festival. The champion chase is probably the most exciting, and if the two of them have a really good campaign leading up to it, it'll be a proper race for people to watch.
Getting warm vibes for Margeborough. I think if Sir Gino rocks up and gets through his first couple of runs of the season, he'd be ever such a difficult horse to beat wherever he goes over this sort of trip. He's got so much speed. And we mentioned a horse like Ballyburn. Well, he's actually amongst the market leaders for the Stayers Hurdle on Thursday. Sort of roughly the sort of 6-1 joint favourite. Chupo, who won the race 2 years ago, was second this last year behind Bob Olinger. Same sort of price. Jasmine Deveau, who did very well in the 3 mile novice here last year. El Clavel, the Yellow Clay. I mean, Margeborough's in the betting here, but surely he'll be going over fences. Wood, who I suppose if she stepped up in trip, she'd be a player. She did so well last year. Bob Olinger, last year's winner's a huge price. Likewise, the Triumph Hurdle winner at 100-1 Poneros. So there's probably something we haven't even considered here, Barry.
Yeah.
Or is there?
Yeah, good question. Like, Tia Hoop has won the race twice, but Bob Olinger put him in his place. He was a solid winner. You know, he has had his issues. Maybe he has issues to overcome again, but he's a fancy price for the
He'll
previous
be without
winners.
Rachel, of course, who got on
Yeah,
so well
she
with
was
him.
brilliant on him at the festival, no doubt, but he really relished to step up and trip. It's a very open division. Like Ballyburn has the potential. If you go back to what he did as a novice hurdler, the performance here at the festival, you know, then you translate that to hurdles rather than what he did over fences or couldn't do. So he's the potential to be a superstar as well. It's a tricky one. Ballyburn could be a standout. Clock is probably against Bob Olinger. You know, the yellow clay chased home the favourite for the champion hurdle. So how strong was that from with final demand back in third?
AP, any ideas here?
That Jasmine Deveau I think he's a very, very strong stayer. There's always little question marks about his jumping, and obviously that track that he won the Albert Barrett on last year would have really suited him, and obviously the stayers will as well. So I just have a thing that he just looks like a horse that has got unbelievable amounts of stamina. You know, and I just wouldn't be surprised if he could be
just keeps going.
If he could improve into being a proper stayers hurdle horse.
Yeah, there's a whole clutch of Mullins Festival winners in here that are interesting.
Yeah, it's like they could have their own race nearly.
So Jasmine Deveau, if pressed.
Bob Olinger at that price,
16s. I thought Jimmy DeSoy was mildly interesting at 25 to 1. Runaway winner of the Coral Cup? He won the Coral Cup, didn't he?
Cup, I think.
Last year, I thought absolutely tons in hand and didn't look like he was stopping. So he might just make up to the next level. But it is a really tough race to get your head around at this stage. Maybe tougher even than the Gold Cup, of course, the feature race of the whole week on Friday. And at this stage, just having a little look at who's heading the market. Well, the defending champion, I know the way you're thinking. Galopin Des Champs, second favourite, bidding to regain the crown. And he's going to be a little held up in his preparation. Looks like he's going to miss the John Durkan. I'm sure that'll be a departure point for the season for the likes of Factophile, maybe Gaelic Warrior. Fast or Slow missed last year, of course. He's coming back, having unseated his rider in the Gold Cup 2 years ago. 80 Couleur, who was the 3-6 winner last year. He's in the betting. Champ Kiley. Marsborough's in the betting even. Grey Dawning, remember him? Caldwell Potter. Will he stay the distance? If he does, he's quite interesting. He's around 33 to 1. The Grand National winner, Nick Rocket, 33 to 1. There's all sorts of fun you could have with this if you're trying to find an each way horse, but I guess it revolves around the defending champion.
Yeah, and look, it is. I know that we've had a few album photo on. We have won back-to-back Gold Cups. It is a hard thing to win. He was only a 7-year-old. Another way you're thinking, there was talks that maybe Galopin Des Champs wasn't at his best. He went to Punchestown and was unbelievably good there again. So having won 2 Gold Cups and getting beaten in one, try and come back and win another one. Yeah, it's a hard one. You know, those 2 horses set a really good standard, so they do. You just there's something that makes you think. I wonder, was it a little bit of a fluke? Was Galopin Des Champs never looked comfortable in the Gold Cup last year?
And sometimes they don't, do they? Just
no.
Sometimes.
Like from a very early stage last year.
when he got beaten it. Sometimes.
From a very early stage last year, he just didn't look like Paul Townend was ever comfortable on him, and he still managed to run a good race. So, who knows? But
and his performance then in Punchestown made you really
impression,
question the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Was this the same horse? But to come back now, he'll be 10, so it's not beyond him on his age. But to come back for the 4th Gold Cup, that'll be something else.
He was caught with star. Only win 2 Gold Cups, lose a Gold Cup, and win a Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah. Factophile, I loved him as a novice.
You'd love to see it, wouldn't you?
I think like he ran keen at times last season over 3 miles. Would he year older?
Horse.
Yeah, more grown up horse.
Would he have won last year's Gold Cup?
Well, he did well enough on the Ryanair. He possibly could have.
Yeah.
He possibly could have. So, like, you know, we're guessing here with JP McManus' team of horses. If Jonbon winds up on a Ryanair, would that mean Factophile would go and take his chance to Gold Cup? To me, with another year under his belt, like, he's got so much class. The performance he put in the John Durkan, and yet to win a 3-mile novice chase at the festival the season before that, I think he'll have learned how to race better over 3 miles, to relax, switch off, ride a normal race on him. It'd be easier for Mark Walsh. There'd be decisions to be made, but to me, he might only be the finished article now.
Yeah, and 12 to 1, big price, Factophile. AP?
I'm going to go.
I know the way you're thinking.
I'm going to go another way of thinking, yeah. It's only a 7-year-old, hopefully he can come back and win another one.
JP does have that stranglehold over these top-class chasers at the moment. I'm with Barry. I'd be inclined to take a punt that Factophile might end up there. You know, it's a long old season. You never know what's going to happen to the defending champ. And he's just too big a price for a horse of his ability. I mean, the other interesting one, I think, on ability is Caldwell Potter, but I'm not convinced that, even though he's 33, I'm not convinced 3¼ miles.
I think back and trip and making plenty use of his jump, and he's very good at jumping, so.
Nick Rockett's interesting, the Grand National winner. I bet he lands up here.
Yeah. I am Maximus, another one that could run well in the Gold
Yeah,
Cup, but
yeah.
will they be targeted at more Grand Nationals again? That's the thing.
I think you have to give last year's winner, Galopin Des Champs, potentially factify what he's done as well. I think they're just a cut above.
You've got good horses in here in the betting at, you know, at 100-1. There's a lot of good chasers around at the moment. Those are our thoughts on the 4 big races. That concludes our premature predictions for the 2026 Cheltenham Festival. Thank you, Sir AP. Thank you, Barry, for your predictions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Inside Track YouTube channel. Let us know your premature predictions in the comments below. You can check out all the odds and offers at williamhill.com and on the William Hill app. Thanks again for watching. If you'd like to watch previous editions of the Inside Track, you can click this video that's on the screen. This show was brought to you by William Hill, 18+. Please gamble responsibly.